Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik from Figure It Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. Welcome to Rare Variants. This is the series in which I talk about history's most famous video game consoles, but specifically focus on some oddball version of them that maybe only came out in one country or some sort of limited edition. Those consoles have a story to tell, and I want to talk about it. Now, I've got a whole playlist of this. If you're curious and you want to see some oddball things that have been released over the years, happy to show you. There's a playlist. Check it out. Now, today we're going to be talking about this. This is the Partners Edition Sega Dreamcast. But before we do that, though, if you guys could do me a favor, please like this video, comment down below, subscribe if you've never done that before, and check out all the social media stuff in the description. I've got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, Spreadshirt, as well as my travel channel. I appreciate the support on all those platforms, especially Patreon. Thank you so much, and I almost said I'll see you all later. No, I'm going to see you right now. No, instead what we're going to do is talk about this console. Sorry, it's kind of like it's pre-programmed into your brain and then, yeah, anyway. So yes, the story of the Partners Edition Sega Dreamcast. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys know the history of the Dreamcast, and I've done videos on it. We don't really need to talk about that, but this particular version of the system is odd. Now, what happens is in the summer of 1998, Japan is preparing for the release of the Sega Dreamcast, which would ultimately come out in November. So Sega specifically decided to do, you know, a bunch of promo materials and campaign ideas to try and generate interest in Japan. One of the ideas they came up with was making a special edition version of the system that was sold exclusively to Sega partners in the Sega Partners Club. Now, I have to admit, I don't know a whole lot about the Sega Partners Club because I am not Japanese and it was not something I would have had access to back in the day. But from what I can tell, just kind of casually looking at it, it was kind of the equivalency of like Club Nintendo back in the day, kind of like Sega Direct would eventually become, but exclusively for Japanese people, where it was essentially just a community of people and you could register through Sega to occasionally win like some prizes and stuff like that, and you'd also probably get, you know, spammed with all sorts of leaflets about new games and things that were coming out. It's just kind of a way to keep you invested in Sega as a whole. So back then, they decided, what if we made a special edition of the system exclusively available for these people? And that's how you got the Partners Edition Sega Dreamcast. Now, what they ended up doing was that it looks like, again, it's kind of hard to find a lot of information on this, but it looks like around September of that year, of 1998, they launched this campaign saying, hey, if you're a club member, you have a chance to be able to get your own special edition Dreamcast exclusive to you. And they closed registration of this program in October of 1998. Again, reminder that the system would launch in November, so they had, you know, a little time to actually produce it. Now, the situation with that was that if you were, first of all, I just want to make this very clear. You had to be a member of this program called the Sega Partners Club. From there, should you have chosen to, you could enter to win a lottery. Okay? A lottery. You're familiar with the concept. If you won that lottery, you were not guaranteed the system, you were simply guaranteed the right to buy the system. You didn't actually win this for free, you had to still pay for it. It's just that you had the chance to buy a special edition. With that understanding, there's a very conflicting number of how many of these were actually sold. I've seen some websites say as low as 100, I've seen other websites say as high as 1,000. I'm more inclined to believe 1,000. Specifically because I have seen this in person enough times and online enough times to believe that there's no way there was only 100 of these. So what actually makes it special, like once you actually got it, what people would receive is an orange box, the standard Sega Dreamcast Japanese Director Yukawa box. And inside, it would have a special letter saying, hey, you know, thank you for winning, you know, with the Partners Club and supporting Sega, and, you know, some sort of, you know, corporate message like that, which I don't have that letter. It would, of course, have the system. And then, funny enough, it also had this little keychain. I actually own the keychain, but I got it completely separately. Like, I think I did a video on this in, like, 2010 for Keep Dreaming. It's just a joke. This is a little Director Yukawa keychain. I was a little surprised to find out this is where that came from. I learned that in the process of making this video. Yay, keychain bonus. So you got that, and, of course, you got the console. Now, the console just looks kind of standard fare, like a standard Dreamcast. What are we even doing here? Well, what makes it special is this plate. This is really the only thing that identifies it as unique. Now, this plate straight up just says special model, then has an engraved signature of the then director of, president of Sega of Japan, and then at the bottom, what truly makes it special is a little additional engraving, and in my case, it says K. Konishi. Now, what that actually is the name of the club member who won the lottery and decided to go ahead and purchase it. Every single one of the Partner Edition Dreamcasts has a different name at the bottom indicating who was the original owner. Pretty neat. That same concept would eventually go on to be used on the original Xbox in Japan as well. There was an all-white variation. I don't know exactly the details of how that came into being, but the name of the individual who bought it would be engraved into the lower right corner of the system. I've actually seen one of those once. I had the opportunity to buy it, and I wish I had. I just didn't have space for it because Xboxes are huge. But anyway, in my case, I got this one not through eBay or finding it in a Japanese junk bin or anything like that. This was actually essentially given to me at Portland Retro Game Expo 2023. A guy named Sega Steve was sitting on it, and he offered to give it to me. I gave him some money. You know, I gave him $40 because he asked for $40 after he was originally going to give it to me for free, and I was like, it's too special, whatever. But it's worth a lot more than that. But it's also not like crazy rare. Like if you go online, you can find these for a few $100s. So that's another reason I think there's probably at least 1,000 of these out there. It is a cool version of the Dreamcast. As far as the console itself, hardware-wise, it's a VA0 launch Japanese system. The heavier ones, if you ever hold a launch Japanese Dreamcast, they actually use more metal inside of them, making them noticeably heavier. But beyond that, yeah, it really is just this plate and the story behind it that makes it unique and special. So, Kei Konishi, somehow I doubt you are watching this video, but if you are, hit me up, bro. Let's hang out. I got your Dreamcast. We'll party. I'll come over to Japan. I'll have you sign your own Dreamcast or what was once your Dreamcast. That'd be cool, but somehow I doubt you are going to contact me. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much the entire history of the Sega Dreamcast Partners Edition. If you find one, by all means, it's a cool thing to pick up and save. I know a few people online who've got them, and they just, you know, it's cool because, again, the history of it is like it shows you in real time like who really at one point actually owned this, and having your actual name stamped on one of these is neat. I can't believe someone would part with something like that, but hey, obviously they did, and I'm glad they did because that's how I could have the possibility of having it, and you could as well if you choose to get one online. Does anyone else have one of these out there? I'm genuinely curious. So that'll pretty much do it. I would advise if you are a collector and you're really into the Dreamcast, this is a cool one to have. It's also one that won't break the bank, but admittedly, aside from the story and the plate, there's really nothing else to it. That's really just what makes it unique, is that. So there you go. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you could, again, do me a favor, please like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you've never done that before, and check out all my social media stuff in the description: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon, Spreadshirt, as well as my travel channel. I appreciate the support on all those various platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. This time there's no punchline there. I didn't laugh and screw up. Actually, I'll just see you all later.